Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of the Scaris Vermicornis, where we are going to discuss about its life cycle. So here is a pictorial diagram of how the life cycle of the Scaris proceeds. If you closely look uh, where you want to look into the various steps of it. So the very first step is the presence of mature adult and male and female Ascaris in the large intestine from where they lay eggs. And from eggs, as the eggs are released in the species, they stay in the soil. And we have also seen that they need to stay in the soil for quite a bit long period of time. From where they become the infective form of the egg. They mature, and when ingested through the oral route, unless un- unlike the other parasites, where the last parasite that we have seen, where the infection was through the skin of the integumentary system. This enters into the human economy through oral route. Um, so oral route it enters into your lungs where it goes into molting. And from after molting, they again enter into your digestive tract and then mature. Let us look at the steps that are involved. The very first step in the lumen of small intestine and large intestine, a female may produce approximately two lakh flat eggs per day, which are passed with feces. This is a large amount of eggs that are being laid, and this is the reason why Ceres is highly infected. These eggs, which are released along with the feces, are unfertilized eggs, and if they are consumed there and there only, or unfertilized eggs are consumed, they are non-infective. They become infective after around 18 to days to several weeks, that is around 2 to 4 weeks. They need for maturing and becoming fertilized. Depending on the environmental condition, after these eggs are swallowed, the larva will hatch and they will invade the intestinal mucosa and are carried via the portal circulation, then systemic circulation. So obviously the route is to the mucosa, to the blood, blood to the liver, and from liver they will enter into the circulation. From circulation, they further will mature in the lungs, penetrate the alveolar wall, and ascend in the bronchial tree to the throat and are swallowed. Upon reaching the small intestine, they develop into adult form between 2 and 3 months. Adult can live 1 to 2 years, so they have a quite long life expectancy. So you can see how the different stages. So embryonic egg was ingested. If they are non-fertilized eggs, they won't cause any infection. Whereas embryonic egg enters into through the oral cavity. They reach the intestine, and from intestine they reach into the portal circulation, that is through the liver. From liver they will enter into the systemic circulation, and then to the liver, lungs. From lungs, they will mature. The larva will mature and migrate to the bronchial tree. Again, take the same path of trachea, then into larynx, and then into the esophagus, and then they will develop in the small intestine and lay eggs. Now, about after looking into the life cycle, we need to know about the signs and symptoms. They don't present with high grade fever, they have a low grade fever. Cough and bloody sputum may be present as the larva gets mature in the lungs. Wheezing may be present, abdominal cramps and discomfort can be present, nausea, vomiting worms. This is something very odd, but yes, vomiting worms are present. Anorexia, Diarrhea and passing worms in stool may be also present. Small bowel obstruction, mainly in children, pancreatitis, worm migration, and appendicitis, again from worm migration. So these are some complications such as pancreatitis and appendicitis which may occur due to migration of worms. Apart from that, uh, there are symptoms of obstruction of small intestine. If the number of ascaris increases any fold, you can obstruct the bowel. What type of investigations we need to do? And an X-ray would definitely be helpful to locate the exact place where they are residing and also about the obstruction also. Complete blood count would give us an idea about the nutritional status and also the hemoglobin status. Eosinophil count, if it's increased, then it's indicated that ascaris might be present. Stool examination may be done for testing for the eggs. Liver function test may also be done as they are feeding on in the intestines. We may have conditions like hypoalbuminemia, is low level of albumin, and sputum may also be tested for larvae. So this is a pictorial diagram that how does a fertile egg in human tissues look like. This is an infertile egg. This is a fertile egg as seen in the microscope. These are worms which are passed from the intestinal tract. As you can see, they are quite long, creamy in color, and their number is so abundant as it's evident that they can cause obstruction of intestine. Management, these are all pharmacological drugs. They're not homeopathic, but still mebendazole, albendazole, parental Pamute may be used. Piperazine citrate is also used. Levamisole is also used, and other signs and symptoms are managed accordingly. Prevention, and it is obviously good sanitization and good personal hygiene is essential for preventing. Also, health education should be given for not using human feces as fertilizer, because if it is used as fertilizer, then the chances of these eggs getting into the food chain is quite easy. And prophylactic treatment for deworming should be given to children between the age of 2 to 10. Complications, we can have liver secretion obstruction, that is biliary tract obstruction, and also blockage in the intestine. Perforation may also be seen in complex cases. Thank you. That was all about ascaris.